What is up, YouTube? Continuing with the sort of boss guide slash documentation slash tips. I mean, shit, I don't even know like what I would call this, because it's kind of just like there's a lot of unique perspective to be had in having no healer, and I like talking about it. I don't know, it's fun. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I also feel like the only difficulty of no healing so far is pretty much the lack of damage, because you have to go hitless pretty much anyways. I just have to go hitless for a lot longer than most people because of the damage decrease. But anyways, enough sucking me off. For the Heron hologram fight, I'm on difficulty 5, or I've beaten difficulty 5. The only hard part, there's a couple weird things about the Heron, right? The Heron is a very weird fight. Gion makes him very easy, but Gion, it's not so much a Gion thing. The bird's parry windows I find to be very weird to hit, and I'm good at parrying, right? Like, I am good at parrying. I feel like that's just a fact. I am good at parrying, but not Gion. The Heron's attacks feel very odd to hit because sometimes in some fights I'll hit every single one and feel great, but other times, especially, I think it's usually whenever I parry at a weird angle. If I parry at a weird angle on his dive, it almost never hits, and I always do the thing where I parry but still take damage. That happens on Gion's skill a lot for me, but anyways, that's not the biggest deal. Usually I just try and dodge those unless I'm directly, like, if I'm looking directly at the bird and I'm right in front of him, like a freaking, what do you call them, matadors? The guys in the bull rings, they're called matadors, right? If he's coming right at me, that's an easy parry. But if you're at any sort of angle, I wouldn't risk it, because it's like, the damage you get from it, is it worth the damage he does to you, especially as a no-heal? If you're going no-heal. Is anyone else going no-heal? I feel like not too many people are, but anyways, I would recommend just only parrying his dive attack when he's right in front of you. And another weird thing that this boss sort of does is there's an area in the arena where it's a rock formation and a tree. And I feel like they should just take it out of the arena, personally. I feel like I would fix the boss fight. Like, that would fix like 50% of the boss fights I've had with that guy. But if he does the dive attack and you dodge and he goes into that tree, hey, GG's. Because either one, he ain't coming down, or two, you might lose a minute and a half of progress. And that is invaluable time in the hologram. That tree is the most annoying shit in the game, so if you can avoid getting it, keeping him, or like avoid him getting there, the fight becomes a lot more consistent. But that tree, as I'm sure some of y'all know, and I'm sure you guys have seen on my stream at twitch.tv/Justin, he just sits up there, and then he does this thing where he does the fire attack, misses, stops attacking. Low key, he did this in the Ike's fight too. Not the Huron, but Ike's also has this weird thing, just quick little side note, where he flies, and if he misses, he just floats for a little bit and walks around on the air. The Huron does the same thing, where he just walks around on the air, like his ass motherfucking modern day Jesus walking on air, and it's very annoying, and it wastes so much time, and his attacks become a lot harder to dodge because it just looks really weird and it fricks with my brain. But that's really annoying. But aside from that, I would say the only real annoyance in his kit that's not so, that's sort of like not really like, would you consider that a bug? Would you consider him walking on air a bug? Or is that like an actual fucked up game flaw? But anyways, so aside from that shit, he has this fire attack where he flies up and then just breathes fire at you like a goddamn dragon, even though he's a literal bird. Like, okay, bro, pick a species. Pick a species. You're a bird, bro. When he does the fire attack, I would recommend, just like Souls Dragons, to just run at the tail and pray to God. That's pretty much all it worked for me. So either one, run at him the second you see his attack and go towards his tail, or two, run straight away from him. Because I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, but the tracking on that fire is almost like bro snuck past Riot Vanguard's cheating detection system and input aimbot, because I can't sidestep that shit. Maybe I'm just bad, and let me know if I'm just bad. But for that attack, either run to it or away from it and just spam dodge and sprint and pray. Pray he doesn't spam that ability, because it's so annoying. The Huron, like the monkey, also has very large hitboxes. And not weird hitboxes, but hits that I normally wouldn't expect him to sort of reach his wing out that far for, right? So never underestimate how big that attack is, and I would recommend just always dodging just to be safe, because there's really not a whole lot of harm, but just dodge just to be safe. And his attacks all have a pretty long windup. Dodging, hitting, just doing your thing, just a big, gigantic slow attacks is pretty much a lot of his melee attacks. I'm just trying to say that the attacks are a lot bigger, so just dodge even if you don't think you need to. And he has a bit of a unique mechanic. When his weakness bar gets low, what's it called? Vibration strength? Vibration strength? Is that it? I just call it his weakness bar. His vibration strength is what I'll call it. It's pretty low, like it's pretty easy to break, but when it gets to around, I'll say like 20%, 30%, 15% around, he'll enter a stance where he shields himself and attempts to recover his weakness bar. And when he's in that stance, pump, because he has no counterplay. It's legit just free damage. And if you fail to break his stance before he recovers, he just recovers his weakness bar back. So literally pump every intro skill you got, pump every ult you got, and break him, because it's just really annoying to watch that bitch regenerate his weakness bar, his vibration strength. Even when he's broken, his down phase, where his vibration strength is broken, is very, very short. So the chances you get to do damage, take them, because the times where it is guaranteed damage are very low. I would low-key say the time when he's trying to recover weakness is your time to pump damage. That's your best chance to pump damage, is when he's completely motionless and doing that, because he'll be shielding and then you just hit him and then he has the quick recovery. So legit, just pump all your damage there and then take any other chance you can, because he has pretty long windups for a lot of his attacks. A lot of his attacks are in the air, so it's kind of hard to do. He's just in the air stalling the fight like a bitch. So any chance he's on the ground, legit, just hit him as much as you can. Like more so than other bosses, because he will stall the fight very hard. TLDR, big hitboxes just like Monkey, walks on air just like Ike's, stalls the fight. Not a whole lot of... aside from obviously the vibration strength being broken, pretty much just pump damage like anytime you can when he's on the ground, because he flies very often. So pump damage anytime you can. And that's pretty much it. I'll see you on the next one. Love y'all.